Hi, IADR members and friends of International Art Registry. I wanted to welcome you guys back to IADR's Member Spotlight. And this is for the month of September. We are a little behind, so thank you very much for your patience, guys. But today I wanted to introduce to you one of our members who is out of North Carolina, and she has been an IADR member since 2011. Say hi, Barbara.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us, and it's an honor to be chosen for the IADR Member Spotlight. Thank you for this opportunity to share about myself and my art.
Barbara, I actually want you to give us a little bit of background on you. Go ahead and tell us how you grew up.
See, I was the youngest of four, and we grew up in a very small house with one bathroom and no air conditioner in Oxford, North Carolina. I'm not sure how we managed in that small house with 6 people. So my childhood was rocky. My father was an alcoholic. My parents divorced when I was in high school. But I overcame all that with the help of my faith in Jesus and my mom and my art.
Tell us at what point in your life art was actually introduced to you.
Gosh, I can't remember a time when art was not in my life. My favorite gifts at Christmas were always the kits for creating things. But I would have to say that my artistic endeavors officially started in the 4th grade when my mom enrolled me in art lessons after school, and I began painting, and I have been creating art in one form or another ever since.
So I read a little bit on your website that you and your mom were really close, and she actually goes or went to every single art show with you. Why don't you tell us what is it inside you that really makes you want to create the art that you do?
Let's see, I create because I have to in order to stay sane. My studio is my happy place. It's where I go to get energized and renewed. When I'm creating, all the troubles of this world just seem to fade away, and I get lost in a new little world that I'm creating.
That's really sweet. I actually do hear that a lot. Art was part of my life ever since, I believe, elementary school, but I was really into drawing back then, and it seems to be something that our members and artists today have carried with them through the majority of their life. And I think all those years of creativity really carries through to the type of art that we're putting out nowadays. And now I want to dive into your specific creative process. Let us know what process you have and what kind of things you do to start any type of a sculpture that you do nowadays. Now, have you always had the same process, or has it kind of evolved throughout time?
Let's see, sometimes I see a picture or something in a movie and that will inspire me and I can go from there, but a lot of times I just go in there and stare at my clay and try to decide what I want to create. I can be all over the place with that one because I create babies, children, adults, fairies, mermaids. Once I pick the type of doll that I want to make, then I'll go to Pinterest or the web and look for some inspiration there, some samples, something I want to go to. And once I settle on the type and the pose, then I pull out all my references and just dive right in. I like to be alone in the studio with music or TV for the background, and my favorite time to work is in the evening, which is good since I have a full-time job that takes up a lot of my time during the day.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us can relate to that. I know I can. I'm in the same situation, having that full-time job and us being so excited at the end of each day because we know that we get to come home and dive right into that happy place and feel the amounts of joy that we get when we're in the studio creating. So yeah, I completely hear what you're saying. So Barbara, once you're in the studio, what would you say is your favorite part of the sculpting process? And also give us a little bit of background on why that is.
My favorite part of the process has got to be the painting and finishing, because that's when they come to life. and you finally get to see what you've envisioned in your head in real life.
Yeah, I can totally see that. And where are your favorite places to get your sculpting supplies right now?
I like to shop locally whenever possible, but oftentimes I end up on the internet. A good site I like to go to is OOAK Artist Emporium because they have pretty much anything you're ever looking for. I also like to go to the thrift stores, and you can usually find good material or bases.
Oh, wow. I actually never thought to go to thrift stores for that. That's actually a pretty good point. I may actually do that now. So tell us if you've tried any other mediums other than polymer clay and what they were and kind of what you thought about those.
Let's see, in the past I've worked with charcoal pencils and acrylics and oils, and I started the doll career with reproduction porcelain dolls. Then I proceeded to sculpt my own dolls out of pottery clay and make plaster molds of my own to use in the reproduction of the porcelain. Then we had to move and sell all the kilns and molds. So I progressed to polymer clay, which is mostly what I'm using these days. I've tried paper clay to make ball jointed dolls. Well, paper clay behaves differently than polymer clay, so I'm still trying. I haven't given up on it yet. I'm looking forward to trying the new cos clay, which is the flexible clay that's supposed to come out soon, hopefully. I'm always looking for something new to try.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of hype about that clay online. I've seen tons and tons of posts, and it looks pretty impressive. I mean, the flexibility on that clay is, I think, what all of us one-of-a-kind artists need, because a lot of the areas of our pieces are very thin and fragile, you know, fingers and protruding limbs and things like that. So it looks very interesting. Now, thinking about all of the pieces that you've created so far, what is your absolute favorite that stands out in your mind that you are just really proud of that you created?
My favorite sculpture would have to be Choose Life, because she came straight from my heart. I'm a pro-life supporter and work with a local group called Human Coalition that works to help women in crisis pregnancy situations choose life for their babies, and that's very important to me. And because she's so important to me, she's still in my collection. She's right back there.
We will actually put a link in the description of this video to that organization so that people who want to support or are curious to learn more can actually visit and go that route. That's pretty exciting. So I know I was curious to know this, but what kind of art did your mom create? Because I know you guys were really close and you guys spent a lot of time together just by reading the bio on your website. And you know, feel free to elaborate on her. Tell us a little bit about her and what kind of person she is. So that I think that would be great for us to know.
My mom's name is Irene Clark. She lives in our basement apartment. I don't remember a time when she wasn't creating one thing or another. She's done pastels, oils, acrylics, toll painting. She sewed dresses for us when we were little and dresses for my dolls. I can remember her making Cabbage Patch dolls at one point, and let's see, for many years she attended a Christmas craft show and sold her dolls, wreaths, snowmen, and many different Christmas items. I still have many of her items that she created that I put out each year at Christmas time. She's the reason that I got into doll making. She found a porcelain doll making class at a local community college and asked me to go with her. And so we both went and started making dolls, and we liked it so much we started teaching others. And I owe all that I am today to her. Thanks, Mom. Love you.
That's really sweet to hear. I'm a complete mama's boy. I really am. I'm the first of 5 kids. So, there's always that really special connection between the firstborn and their parents. But it's just really heartwarming to hear the relationship that you and your mom have. Thank you for sharing that. Now, I want to dive in a little bit into your other talents. Tell us a little bit about your drawing and your painting.
My other talents. See, drawing and painting is where I've started, but I don't do much of that anymore. I keep meaning to, but there's just never enough time in a day. Sometimes I roughly sketch out the doll that I'm going to make, but I never show those because they're just really rough.
I know you've won several awards, and I would like you to share with us which one of those awards is the most meaningful to you and why that is.
That would have to be Choose Life. She was the first doll that I ever entered into a contest. Back in 2014, I entered her into the Dolls Award of Excellence, and much to my surprise, she won. She won not only the Industry Choice Award from the magazine, but also the People's Choice. So that's just one more reason for me to keep her in my collection.
That's fantastic. For your favorite piece that you've ever created to be the one that won an award, it's got to be really impactful to you, to have something that you put so much of your emotion and effort into and your heart, to have that be recognized by the public in such a profound way. That's pretty impressive. Congratulations to you. That's fantastic. Let's go into selling a little bit. Was the selling experience an easy one for you?
Selling and pricing are the hardest for me. I usually don't have a problem parting with them because the joy comes in the making and the creating. But I usually have a hard time pricing, and I tend to undervalue my work. I can't imagine anyone wanting to pay money for my dolls. But I'm working on that.
Yeah, me too. I know that we can be the toughest critics on ourselves because we're the ones creating it. We're in the moment. We are seeing it from nothing to something tangible. And we're aware of all those flaws, and we're constantly in our heads thinking, this could have been better, or I should have done this way. And I think that plays a big role in us undervaluing our work and underpricing our work, because I'm sure if we were to ask a fresh set of eyes, first, what they thought about the artwork that we just created, and secondly, how much they would pay for it, I think the difference in the two opinions would blow our minds. Because I know that sometimes with some of my pieces, I've been told that I told them what I was charging for the piece, and they came back and said, that's it. I would gladly pay double for that. And so that just gave me a completely different perspective on, really not being as hard on ourselves when it comes to our work, because it is one of a kind artwork, and it comes from a very deep, meaningful place. So that combined together carries a lot of weight, and I think we need to incorporate that into our pricing and our valuing of our work. Yeah, I completely get where you're coming from. Now, out of curiosity, is there any direction that you've thought about taking your art to that you wouldn't normally? Like maybe something so out of the ordinary because you just feel like doing something crazy?
I've been wanting to create a ball jointed doll for a couple of years. I've started many times, but I've never completed one. I'm also doing a craft show, the Christmas Carousel show in Raleigh. It's the one that my mom did for many years. I've sent some sculptures off to be reproduced in resin. I'm going to use those resin reproductions to make some angel tree toppers and some Santa wreaths. We just moved into a new house, and it has a detached garage, and I'm setting it up as a studio. So once that's finished, I hope to reproduce my own resin and start up teaching classes again. I've missed that. I really enjoy passing along the information that I've learned over the years.
Wow, that's exciting. I don't know if I'd have the bravery to do that. That's really exciting. Congratulations on that. And I think it's one of the things that, in my opinion, we're very fortunate to have those of us who are able to have an entire area or room that's dedicated as our studio, in our home. This room that I'm in now, it was supposed to be my bedroom, but I decided to leave it all as my studio. And there's just so much that I have that I want it organized a certain way. I want to have room to maneuver and have everything spread out and organized. So it's one of the biggest benefits in my mind. All right, a little curveball here. Go ahead and tell us something about you that we may not know.
Well, some of you may know this already, but in 2002, when I was 40 years old, I had a stroke. It affected my speech and my right side of my body. And I was afraid that I would never sculpt again. But praise God, I made a full recovery in just a few months and got right back to sculpting in about 3-4 months. And I've been sculpting ever since then.
Oh wow. And that's pretty impressive. I think it sounds like the reason why you came back so quick is just because of the sheer desire that you had to get back to feeling the joy that your art gives you, your happy place, and that mental state that it puts you in. But wow, I actually did not know that. But wow, that's pretty big. So your art, to you, as a whole, what does your art mean to you in your mind?
Well, let's see, what does my art mean to me? I don't know. I leave a little piece of myself in all of my art, everything that I do. I hope that it brings joy to many people for many years to come. It's my legacy. It's going to be here long after I'm gone.
So Barbara, as you know, you and every single other member that we have in International Art Doll Registry are incredibly valuable to us. You guys, our membership, are the reason why this art community was created, is to be able to nourish, help, educate, and teach people who want to learn and want to start doing this, to people that have already been doing it for years. So how has International Art Doll Registry helped you become a better person or a better artist?
Thank you. The tutorials and the classes have helped me a lot, and everyone at IADR is so willing to answer any questions. Most of all, my awesome mentor and my favorite doll artist, Natalie Rowe. I just love her and admire her work so much. My husband has blessed me with 3 of her dolls for my birthdays, and they just sit on the shelf and inspire me and make me happy.
Wow, that is some husband you have there. 3 Natalie Ruiz pieces. That's, oh my gosh, it's so, it is very exciting. It's very exhilarating, because I remember when I received my first art doll, when I got it in the mail, it was a Deb Wood, and I nearly broke down in tears, because to be able to have something so beautiful, so unique, so well made, and just being able to feed off of that artwork every single time you see it, have it motivate you and give you ideas and make better decisions in your life, and simply putting a smile on your face is a huge deal. So that piece of Deb Woods that I have it was my first one, and rightfully so. She is a big part in my life. She has done so much for me and hundreds of other artists, and I'm just so grateful that I was able to have one of her pieces, because her pieces go quick. Barbara, I want to thank you very much for agreeing to spend time with us, for sharing pieces of you that others may not know, and allowing us a little sneak peek into your world, into your life and your past. We really love having you on board. You're an incredible sweetheart, and we are very excited to see your future artwork. So thank you very much for spending this time with us, and we look forward to talking with you again soon. See you, Barbara.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for joining us and spending your time watching this interview. If you want to find me on the internet, you can find me at bjfgallery.com.
Okay, everyone, so that was Barbara Feltz, and I wanted to thank everybody for taking the time sitting down with us and sharing this exciting journey into the life of Barbara Feltz, the artist. And I want to invite you guys to come back very, very soon for the November member spotlight artist. I'm not going to give it away. I'm very excited about this one. The artist has already agreed, and the video is in production. You know who you are. Thank you very much, and we will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys.